Hey guys, so today I'm working on this 94 Toyota Tercel that I got. When I got it, it ran absolutely horrible. These two cylinders on the end were not firing at all. The spark plugs were really fouled. When I put spark plugs in it, it ran a little bit better, but ultimately it had low compression. So it had 60 psi of pressure in both of these two here. I ran a can of Seafoam through the intake and I got that up to 90, and now it actually idles and runs, but as you can tell, it's not high enough, it still misfires. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to run a can of Seafoam deep creep through it, and then I'm going to change the oil with a can of engine restore. The compression loss is top end according to my wet dry compression test, so I'm not sure how much that's going to help. But I'm going to see if I can bring back the compression of this old girl, and if I can, then I'll replace the valve cover gasket, clean it up, and drive it for a while and see how it is. So we're going to do that now. After running that can of deep creep through it, there's a marked improvement. Not sure if it's picking up on camera, but the engine itself, it's not the intake, the engine itself is running a lot smoother. It's still not smooth by any means, but it is firing on all fours. So now I'm going to go ahead and change the oil and run it some more and see what comes. This is my last ditch effort to try and gain compression back in this Tercel motor. You can see it is running a lot better than it was. I don't know if you can see, but I've gained, when I first got this engine, it had 60 psi, 60 psi, 140, 140. Now 150, 150, 90, and still 60. So, and I did a wet dry and it is a valve leak. So I've already ran a can of Seafoam deep creep through it. And a can of Seafoam, but I've got two more cans of Seafoam that I'm going to run through it right now in hopes of regaining some compression in that last cylinder. I don't know how it's going to go, but we're going to find out. Well, apparently I didn't hit record. I just ran the first can through it, through this PCV vacuum line here into the intake. It smoked a lot. I'm going to let it soak for about 10 minutes and then run the other can through it and see if we can regain any compression. Okay, it's been hot soaking for over 5 minutes. I'm going to start it up and run the second can through right away. That's a vacuum leak because I have the vacuum line off. Now we'll do a hot soak. Let that soak for 10-15 minutes, maybe more, and then we'll fire it up again. So yeah, that's about $40 worth of Seafoam. I've ran through it now. 3 cans and 1 can of deep creep through the throttle body. So it's just a last ditch effort because it's obviously not worth, you know, pulling the head. It has a exhaust valve or an intake valve on cylinder 4 that's not sealing. And it's just a good old 94 Toyota Tercel. Has some rust, some dents, some scratches. I cleaned up the interior yesterday just to make it livable. I've changed the spark plugs because obviously the 2 were fouled where they weren't firing right. So I changed all 4 spark plugs. Put a different battery in it because the old one had a dead cell and that was causing more strain on the engine. It was idling rougher because the alternator was always putting out to keep it topped up. So this is the last ditch effort. It does run, you know, good enough that you could drive it if you needed to. That's about all I could say for that. So yeah, I'm gonna fire it up and rev the piss out of it, and hopefully it comes back. We'll do a compression test shortly. But let's see how much she smokes now. Got some pretty major exhaust leaks right up front here, obviously. Okay, here we are. Engine's still hot. Cylinder 4 is the main issue, so we're going to test it. Here's the spark plugs across. You can clearly tell the 2 that are firing better than the other 2. These 2 here. This one and this one. Better than this one and this one. So, let's crank it. Still 60. No improvement. Cylinder 2 has actually gone down to 60. Well, 60, 65. Let's go to the next 2, which I know are already good. From 150 to 175 on this cylinder. So when your motor's still kind of good, you can gain 25 psi. I'm going to do the last one. Well, there you go. 150 to 180. That's a 30 psi increase. 30, 25, and then we lost on the 2 cylinders that are dead. So, would recommend Seafoam for sure, but it didn't help me in this case. So, it's $40 out of the way gone. So, what's ahead for this car? Who knows? But definitely not ahead. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Have a good day. Let me know what you think, and see you again soon.